So you're going on your first date. You must be a nervous wreck right now. But don't panic. I have some tips to share with you that will help you survive that first date from start to finish. Okay, so don't worry. Let's get right into it. Hey, it's your girl Anna. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, thanks for tuning in. Here we talk about stuff concerning dating, love and relationships, lifestyle and stuff. So you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. So tip number one is don't overdress. Yes, it's your first date with this person, but at the same time, you don't want to be at a location and you're overdressed and it's just weighing on your mind and it affects the play out of the date itself. So try and find out where he's taking you and you tailor your outfit to suit that. Of course, you want to look fashionable and stylish, but ensure that you're comfortable. You don't want to be wearing something that you'll be fidgeting, trying to fix, or it might be showing all your flaws, you know. So be clever, of course, in how you plan your outfit so that you are comfortable on the day and the people around you are not you're not drawing too much attention, basically, because the date is between you and him and everything. You don't necessarily need to be the best dressed person in the room. So don't overdress. That's tip number one. Okay, so we've all heard it, you know, where if you're going somewhere you need to be fashionably late. Listen, when it comes on to a first date, you need to be on time. You know, the gentleman may have made reservations, you know, you don't want him lingering at the table by himself. That's not cute on a first date. Being on time is what's actually admirable. So for your first date, be on time. And that leads me to my next point, which is to find your own way. Listen, yes, he may drive or whatever, or he might even know where you live. That's not even the point. It's your responsibility to find your way to the location, because if the date sinks or tanks, you kind of want to know how you're going to get out of that, and you don't want the awkwardness of having him take you home. Also, for safety reasons, you want to find your own way there. You could maybe drive or get a friend to give you a lift, and you also have the plans of how you're going to get home. So on the first date, find your own way home. It's a first date. Ladies, I know this might be me setting the bar a little too high, but chivalry is not dead, okay? So of course you got there on your own, so it's not about the car door anymore. But definitely when you get into the restaurant, especially if he got there before you, you know, I'm using a restaurant as a first date, remain standing and let him hold that chair out for you, right? He should be a gentleman. He should get up, pull your seat out and allow you to sit. And of course, if he doesn't do it, don't just pull the chair out because, oh my gosh, I really want this date to continue. That should be a deal breaker for you, because if he can't do simple things or simple signs to show you that he's a gentleman, what's the point, you know? So remain standing until he pulls that chair out for you. Yeah, I know it's not common, but demand it. Okay, this is not a proven thing, right? So yes, even if he can afford it, ladies, don't order the most expensive thing on the menu, please. Be moderate, okay? Be gracious. So even though, yes, he's displaying signs that he can afford it, remember, no, you're on a first date. The first date is like a test on both parts. He's watching you, you're watching him. And that could be something he's gauging with you. He's like, oh my gosh, in his mind, why did she have to pick the most expensive thing on the menu? So be moderate, be gracious, you know? Of course, you're not going to pick the cheapest thing on the menu like you're not used to things, but please don't pick the most expensive thing on the menu, you know? Ladies, so we've been stereotyped, you know, people say we are the talkative ones and all of that, but on this first date, you need to share less than you hear, right? You're there to get information. You're there to know more about this other person. Yes, you're going to tell them something about yourself, but is it right for them to know everything about you on the first date? No, there needs to be an element of mystery about you, so hold back on some things. Let him lead the conversation, really. Let him talk, soak up all you can get, because at the end of the day, this is your life, this is your future you're thinking about, right? So let him talk more than you, and then you'll be able to gauge whether or not this is the right person for you, or if it's even worth a second date. Okay, I touched on it a bit in the last tip, but let me just be more blatant about it. This one is listen keenly. Listen here doesn't mean that you're hearing what the person says, you know. you're actually actively listening, so that whatever you hear, you're actually processing that information, you're connecting dots. What if he's a liar? You need to listen keenly so you can gauge the information that you're receiving. And remember, it's a first date, so everybody is out to prove and show off and just, show that they are the right person, when that might not be the case. So listen keenly and be sure to remember what you hear. Roll it over in your mind while he's talking, so you're processing the information. You're not just taking in information and just giving back information, but at the end of the date you can't remember half of what was said. That can't be the case. You need to listen keenly, because this is basically an assessment of whether you even end up on a second date, even if it might even determine whether or not you take another phone call or another message. So listen keenly, process the information, connect the dots, and if you're not clear, ask more things. Don't probe too deep. It's just the first date. Keep things light, but at the same time, just listen carefully, okay? And if something is not clear, yes, go ahead and question it, but don't go too deep. And if the answer you get is not really clear enough, there will be other times. This one might sound a little weird to people, but take a bathroom break. Remember, you're on the date, things might be going okay, but you need a little breather, and you can't call timeout while you're at the table or wherever you are. So take a bathroom break. During that bathroom break, you might want to use the bathroom, yes, but look in the mirror. Look at yourself. Is anything out of place? Do I need to fix something? Maybe you need to freshen up a bit, or you also need to look at yourself and say, okay, is this date going okay? Do I need to run right now? How do I get out of here? So take the bathroom break and use that time to gauge whether or not you need to continue on this date. Do a little self-assessment, roll over things in your mind, and that bathroom break will help you to just pan out the rest of the second half of the date, basically, because you basically took a breather. So you need that. So take a bathroom break. Whether you feel the urge to go literally or not, take that bathroom break. We all might be guilty of this, where in conversations with people we don't really maintain eye contact, but this is important on the first date, because looking into his eyes tells him you're listening to him, you're present, you're attentive, you're only focused on him. It gives that impression. So maintain eye contact. It also does another thing. It also intimidates him a bit. So if he's thinking of lying to you, the fact that you're staring him down basically will actually let him pull back, because he might say, okay, I can't slip up with what I'm saying because this girl might catch me in some lie here or there. So you might find that he's more truthful or honest in his communication to you, because you're actually actively listening by looking at him directly. You might also feel a little chemistry while staring in his eyes. So go ahead and make that eye contact, maintain that eye contact. Okay, so even though you're maintaining eye contact, do not touch him. Okay, this is not your man. Remember, this is a first date. You see, when you're in a relationship, you reach over, you caress your partner's hand, you brush something off your face, stuff like that. This is a first date, so don't touch him. That's kind of awkward, right? You don't want to be giving off too much sexual energy in the first date. It's a first date. Allow it to be just that. You're getting to know somebody, your first time face to face. Let the communication flow naturally, okay? So avoid touching him. Ladies, on the first date, it's okay to go ahead and eat dessert. I know I told you earlier not to order the most expensive thing on the menu, but don't deprive yourself of dessert. Even if you're Weight Watching and dieting on all of that, it kind of says that you're too self-centered, or you're just watching your weight, and that can intimidate somebody else. Relax and eat dessert. Let him know you're a normal person, right? Let him know it's okay. You're not going to count every calorie you eat and all of that. Remember, you're being judged, So go ahead and eat dessert. You must be able to skip a day in your rigid diet for at least once. So on the first date, eat dessert. Relax, eat dessert, and have the conversation flow and everything. Okay? You may have heard me say this already in another video. Listen. You're on the first date, or any date for that matter, don't pay the tab. Okay, ladies? Do not pay the bill. Please, let him pay the tab. Tap into your feminine energy. Lean back, sit back, relax, enjoy the date, and allow him to pay the tab. And if he dares to push the bill in your direction, you're gonna just take your bag up and you're gonna leave, right? You're not even gonna say anything, because this is clearly not the man for you. If on the first date he's looking to split a tab, that can't work. So you're enjoying the date, things are going well and everything. Oh, please don't kiss on the first date. Don't kiss on the first date. You just don't do it. No matter how enjoyable things are, yes, in the movies, right when they reach, they bring you to your door, you see the kiss happens, etc. And remember, you found your own way to this location, and you'll be finding your own way home. So there's kind of not much wiggle room for you to be kissing anybody. This is a first date, okay? If things will work out between you two, there'll be other times to kiss. And believe me, if the chemistry is that strong, not kissing on the first day won't hurt your chances with him. So don't kiss on the first date, okay? Things are going well on the first date, yes, but try not to get trapped into a second date while you're still on the first date. Don't gauge how you're feeling in the moment. Yes, you might be enjoying the date and his company, etc. And you say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go out with him again. Believe me, girl, you want to sleep on that, okay? So don't get trapped into a second date while you're on the first date. And men tend to do that. They want to lock you into a second date. And by the time you relax and the wine that you drank wore off and everything, you're going to start thinking, oh my gosh, why did I commit myself to going on a second date with this guy that I don't even want to see again? So don't get trapped into a second date while you're on the first date. Go home, sleep on it, keep the conversation going, pace yourself naturally, and then you can truly decide whether or not you want to go on a second date with this person. And the last point here is to let him know you got home okay. Remember, you're going to find your own way there. So yes, a simple text to say, hey, I got home okay. He might be calling or texting you as well to check if you reached in okay and everything. But if he fails to do that, don't use it and judge him. Be sure to send that message to let him know you're okay. And even though some persons might say, okay, if I didn't send a message and he didn't reach out, that would be me finding out that he wasn't going to contact me anyway, and you use it to judge him. No. Common courtesy on the first date, whether he reaches out or not, send that message. Don't call. Just send a message to say, hey, I got in okay and everything is okay. Thanks for our date. Okay, you don't have to lie. If you didn't enjoy the date, you don't have to say at the bottom of the message that, oh, and I enjoyed our date. Don't be a liar. Just stick with the facts. Thanks for tonight. I got in okay. Just letting you know I got home okay. And that's it. And that's the end of your first date. So ladies, as you venture out, I hope all goes well, and be sure to share in the comments below your experiences on your first date. I would love to hear from you. Share the good and the bad. What have you been through with this first date experience? So thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and be sure to hit the like button, share the video, and check out another video before you go. So I'll see you next time.